Hey Jackson, let's talk about stroke technique. Good line off of the wall there. Make sure you keep those hands nice and still. All right, in your streamline, you want to make sure those hands from the fingertips all the way through to your rib cage stay nice and parallel with the surface and the bottom of the pool, nice and stable, so you can generate your kick from your upper abs and your hips. You can see here in the slow-mo that there's a lot of hand movement in your underwater dolphin kicks in your streamline. All right, right there you can see all that hand movement. Make sure you keep those hands nice and still. Now you can see here in your swim, you have a little bit of a knee bend in your kick, all right? And that's making your feet drop below your hip line. You want to try and keep those feet nice and high below the surface by keeping that kick generated from your hips and your upper abs. All right, and then keep that kick small, quick, and continuous just below the surface, all right? Try and keep it continuous. Don't have those pauses because it makes your hips sink in the water, okay? Going in a backstroke here, make sure you keep that head tilted back a little bit more, all right? Because you can see here while you're swimming, your hips are very, very low in the water, all right? And that's making you generate that flutter kick from your knees right now, which is then causing your feet to drop below your hip line, creating drag. You want to press that head back a little bit more so that you can easily raise up those hips a little bit more, all right? So raise up those hips closer to the surface, all right, the whole time while you're swimming. Then make sure you generate that kick from your hip flexors, all right? Keep that kick small, quick, and continuous just below the surface, generating from the hip flexors, all right? That way you'll raise up your body position through the water, and those feet won't drop down below your hip line, creating drag. So keep the feet small, quick, and continuous just below the surface. From that body position then, you'll be able to rotate more onto each side going into each backstroke catch, which will give you more leverage into each backstroke catch. Going into breaststroke here, good line off of the wall. Alright, good job in resetting your hip position to look down each time, alright? Very well done on that one. You can see here on your kick though that kick drops down below your hip line, alright, when you're finishing out at the back. Alright, always make sure that kick stays nice and high, just below the surface. So those heels need to stay close to the surface, alright, above your hip line the whole time, even when you initiate the kick, all the way through when you finish the kick, okay? That's going to help you raise up that body position in the water and make you sit higher in the water, because right now you can see you're dipping down a little bit too deep in your upper body as well, and you don't have as much leverage on the water going into your breaststroke catches, right? So sit a little bit higher in the water, keep those hands just below the surface, those hands and arms, so you can roll into a high elbow catch with a lot more leverage on the water, all right, with a higher body position in the water. And remember that kick, all right, keep the kick high in the water so they don't drop down below your hip line, creating drag. Finishing up with freestyle here. All right, you can see here that you have a little bit of a forward head position in your freestyle, okay? Make sure you keep that head down a little bit lower, looking down towards the bottom, and keep that head nice and still there, okay? Every now and then you can see you lift that head up a little bit more, looking ahead of you, and you have a lot of head movement. Minimize the head movement, keep the head really, really still, and only have it move when you turn your head really, really quick to grab a quick breath and then reset your head back in your downward head position, okay? And you can see here you're pressing down a lot of air with your hands, okay? You want to make sure that you enter with your fingertips and then your forearm, all right, at a little bit of a sharper angle by using a high elbow recovery over the top of the surface, all right? That's going to help you press down less air down beneath the surface. Then make sure that hand enters in line with your shoulder and then roll out and reach ahead of you in line with your shoulder going into each high elbow catch. Keep up the good work, Jackson.